They say there's nothing new under the sun. Yet here we are in the 21st century, rediscovering an ancient world with fresh eyes. Join me as we uncover long-lost tales from antiquity. My hope is that these ancient stories will bring us closer to understanding our past, but also how those long dead are not so different from us today. I'm the host. Today we're looking at 5 shocking truths about the Library of Alexandria. Number 5, it may have held over 400,000 scrolls. It is a staggering figure, almost impossible to imagine. 400,000 scrolls. If you were to line them up end to end, they would stretch over 18 miles. How did the Library of Alexandria amass such a huge collection? Thanks to Ptolemy II, the ruler of Egypt between 260 and 246 BCE. He wanted his library to be a center of scholarship and invited scholars from all over the known world to come to Alexandria and share their ideas. He even offered them generous salaries, housing, and free food. Scholars came from Greece, Persia, Syria, Rome, and many other places. They brought with them books, scrolls, maps, artwork, and other materials that they had been studying. This material quickly grew into the largest collection of knowledge in the ancient world. Many people believed that the collection was kept in a single building, but this isn't true. Instead, the scrolls were spread out across many buildings in Alexandria. The main library was probably a large rectangular structure made of stone. It may have had 3 or 4 stories and a courtyard in the middle. There were also smaller libraries located throughout the city, as well as warehouses where the scrolls were stored. Most of the scrolls were written on papyrus, which is a type of paper made from reeds that grow in the Nile River. The library also collected some scrolls written on leather or wood. The scrolls were usually rolled up and tied together with string or leather cords. They were stored in wooden cabinets or on shelves made of stone or brick. The library also had a reading room where scholars could come to read the scrolls in peace and quiet. The room was probably filled with papyrus scrolls, clay tablets, and wax tablets. There were also chairs, couches, and tables where scholars could sit and read comfortably. The reading room was open to the public, so anyone who wanted to learn could enter and take out a scroll to read. Number 4, it wasn't destroyed all at once. Contrary to popular belief, the destruction of the library did not happen suddenly. Instead, it took place over several centuries due to various factors, including wars, neglect, and natural disasters. For example, in 391 CE, a mob of Christians attacked the library, believing that the pagan texts inside were blasphemous. While it's estimated that around 10% of the scrolls were destroyed during this riot, others were rescued by monks who hid them in catacombs and caves. Another setback occurred in 402 CE, when a fire broke out in the Temple of Serapis, located near the library. Although the temple was eventually rebuilt, it's believed that some scrolls were lost in the blaze. However, these incidents only accounted for a small portion of the library's destruction. The majority of its loss happened gradually over time through neglect and the actions of individual scholars. For instance, one story tells of Julius Caesar accidentally burning part of the library when he set fire to a temple in 48 BCE. During the civil war between Caesar and Pompey, each leader's ships were anchored along the harbor, with Caesar's fleet being moored right off the coast of the library. Caesar's flagship was nearly run aground on the mole, a structure used for loading and unloading ships, which was attached to the lighthouse and extended out into the harbor. In order to clear enough space for his ship, Caesar ordered the lighthouse's mole to be demolished. When Pompey's ships saw the smoke billowing from the burning mole, they thought it was a signal for battle and opened fire on the Caesar's ships. This ultimately led to a fierce battle in the harbor, but it's unclear whether any scrolls were lost in the process. Still, Julius Caesar's accidental fire was one of many that occurred over the years, slowly diminishing the library's holdings. By the 7th century, Muslim rulers began viewing the library's pagan texts as heretical and started burning them. Though no major fires broke out during this time, it's estimated that 1/3 of the remaining scrolls were destroyed. In the year 640 CE, the Arab army, led by Amr ibn al-As, captured Alexandria. Al-As ordered the remaining books to be burned, destroying the last vestiges of the Great Library. With the death of the library, an estimated 400,000 scrolls were lost, which included approximately 200,000 unique titles. These scrolls covered a wide range of topics, including history, science, mathematics, philosophy, and literature. Among the works lost were many of Ptolemy's astronomical charts and tables, which had been used by sailors for navigation for centuries. Other notable works lost included Euclid's Elements, which contained proofs for many of the fundamental theorems of geometry, and Ptolemy's Geography, which described the location of cities, countries, and other geographical features. But perhaps most tragic was the loss of the works of Callimachus, one of the greatest poets of the Hellenistic period. His poems covered a wide variety of subjects and were known for their wit, elegance, and intelligence. Unfortunately, very little of his work survived the destruction of the library, and what remains is incomplete. Also lost were the works of Aristarchus of Samos, an astronomer who proposed a heliocentric model of the solar system, as well as Apollonius of Rhodes, author of the epic poem Argonautica, which recounted the adventures of Jason and the Argonauts. Number 3, it collected secrets through espionage. According to legend, Callimachus, the chief librarian, employed spies to steal valuable texts from other libraries. While working in Athens, Callimachus discovered a previously unknown copy of Homer's Iliad, an epic poem attributed to the ancient Greek poet Homer and set during the Trojan War. Eager to add the text to the Alexandria collection, Callimachus sent a letter to King Ptolemy III requesting permission to buy the scroll. Upon receiving the king's approval, he paid the bookseller, returned to Alexandria, and presented the scroll to the king. However, in reality, Callimachus never purchased the scroll. Instead, he bribed the bookseller to give him a copy and keep the original. After receiving the fake scroll, Callimachus placed it in the royal library, where it remained for centuries until it was discovered to be a forgery. This wasn't an isolated incident. Around the same time, another librarian named Aristarchus traveled to the Persian Empire in search of scientific and mathematical texts. He persuaded the king to lend him some of the rarest books in the royal library and then simply never returned. Another famous tale involves Aristarchus of Samothrace, who stole the lost book of the Egyptian priestess. Sappho, known as Sappho's only surviving poem, the book had been sought after by scholars for centuries, but no one could find it until Aristarchus stumbled upon a copy in a remote village. He immediately recognized the importance of the book and arranged for it to be smuggled out of the empire and into Alexandria. There, he donated the book to the library, ensuring that it would be preserved for future generations. Number 2. No one knows exactly where it was. Despite its fame, little is known about the exact location of the library. Historians believe it was situated close to the royal palace in the eastern part of the city. A popular theory suggests that it stood near the coastal road in the area of Rakotis, an ancient Egyptian city that later merged with Alexandria. Supporters of this theory point to descriptions of the library left by early historians like Strabo and Ptolemy. They mention that visitors could reach the library in less than half a day's walk from the port. But pinpointing its exact location has proven difficult. Excavations in Alexandria have uncovered fragments of ancient structures, but none have been definitively linked to the library. Some archaeologists believe that the library's vast size and importance may have caused it to be conflated with several smaller libraries and collections scattered throughout the city. In fact, excavations in the 1970s uncovered a series of rooms containing thousands of ancient fragments. While impressive, this find was only a small fraction of what the Great Library held. As historian Peter Green wrote, "If all that was found in one spot was the equivalent of 2 or 3 of the British Museum's exhibition rooms, it seems unlikely that this was the site of the main library." The truth is that the passage of time and the destruction of Alexandria have left us with few physical remains to study. What we do know is that the library once stood proudly in the heart of Alexandria, a testament to humanity's thirst for knowledge and our capacity for greatness. Number 1, some say its knowledge survived. In secret. The destruction of the library was a devastating blow to the ancient world. The loss of so much knowledge and scholarship set back the progress of civilization by centuries. But some believe that not everything was lost. Could there be hidden texts buried beneath the sands of time, waiting to be discovered? There are rumors of secret chambers and underground tunnels leading to hidden repositories of ancient texts. Some say that members of the priesthood smuggled important scrolls and books out of the city before it was too late. Others believe that certain scholars managed to hide their precious collections in caves or tombs, safeguarding them from the flames. But perhaps the most intriguing possibility is that some of the library's texts were simply too valuable to destroy. Even after the library was burned, these texts continued to circulate among scholars and eventually found their way into secret societies or hidden libraries. Whatever the truth, the legacy of the library lives on in the stories that have been passed down through the ages. As we continue to explore the ancient world, we may uncover more evidence of its existence and the incredible works it housed. With each new discovery, we gain a deeper appreciation for the rich history of humanity and the enduring power of knowledge. And perhaps one day we will stumble upon a hidden scroll or a secret chamber that reveals the true extent of the library's wisdom. The Library of Alexandria truly was an extraordinary place, a beacon of knowledge and learning that sadly no longer exists. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button and subscribe for more historical tales. Let us know in the comments section below what other historical mysteries you'd like to see us cover in the future. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the past. Thank you for watching.